guys, it's Jennifer, the Chaos Coach, and I'm sitting on my big comfy couch with Sadie, or Lucy. Well, with Sadie and with Lucy. I want to talk about stuff today. So, first question I got was my friend Des, and she was talking about what do you do when your partner leaves you for another? And what a question. I had to think back on how it used to be. And I thought about something kind of funny. It's like, do you remember being in a relationship and you're everything's fine, except to yourself or to your friends, you say, I'm not happy, I deserve more, he treats me like this, or we don't do that, and I want to do this, and I deserve more. And then all of a sudden, they break up with us. And we go, oh my God, how am I going to live without him? They were the best things in my life, I can't go on. I call bullshit. But I remember that feeling, and I remember the prior to that feeling going, I'm not happy, I shouldn't be in this relationship. But as soon as it's not our choice anymore, we go, oh shit. Well, it's time to be honest with ourselves. And that's with yourself too. Were you happy? Unfortunately, things don't change until we make a change. And I had I've been married for 30 years. And I really didn't plan on talking about this today. But I'll talk about it a little bit. I know it's not a great marriage. It hasn't been a great marriage for 29 years. It hasn't, but probably 29 and a half years out of the 30. But about 2 years ago, I changed. I'm a different person. There's things I won't tolerate anymore. I won't be disrespected. I won't be manipulated. So I put my foot down. And he didn't like it. It's confusing for him, and I understand that. And I'm not saying he's a terrible person, because he's not. I let him get away with it for a long time, and I put my foot down. Now he's confused. Well, we had some stupid little argument a couple weeks ago, and I refused to argue about it. It was just a matter of disrespect, period. And I said, that's what it's about, and I'm not going to get into it anymore. I'm not going to get upset. Well, we did talk for a couple days, and he sat down on the couch in front of me and said, so how are we going to do this? I go, what? He goes, well, I was thinking we'll just sell the house as it is, and whatever profits are made of the house, you get to keep. And then I'll keep my pension and everything, and we'll just go our separate ways. I'm like that. I was speechless. I'm like, wrong. First of all, no, because we've been together for 30 years, and there's other things we got to do. We got to talk to an attorney. We got to find out what's fair. I don't even know where we stand. Plus, the world and the economy is crazy right now, and the real estate market is crazy. It'd be stupid and confusing to sell the house and have to find 2 other homes for us. So I left it at that. I go, okay. I go, no, we need to meet with an attorney and all that. He goes, fine. I knew you're going to be like that. Whatever. I go, I'm just going to get out of the house for a little bit because I don't want to fight about it. And in that moment, I had that feeling of, oh my God, what am I going to do now? I haven't been happy forever. And I know this is the best thing, would be the best thing. But at that moment, I went, oh shit. I think it's a normal reaction, but it doesn't have to be. You can take a moment and go, oh shit, and then go, okay. So what I did, I thanked him. I said, thanks for taking that step and stating that. Then I said, okay, I'm going to get out of the house for a little bit. So I walk out to my car, and I look at my car, and if you don't know, I have a little 2005 Mini Cooper. And I think the only thing that was holding it together was the dirt. So I look outside, go outside, walk to my car, turn around, walk back in, and he's standing in the kitchen. And I go, "Did you wash my car?" And he goes, "Yeah, I didn't want you to be any madder at me." And I just looked at him, and I walked over him, and I hugged him. I said, "Thank you. Why couldn't you have done that years ago?" The first time ever in the 30 years we've been married, 34 years we've been together, that he's ever washed my car. Ever. Confusion, manipulation, whatever the hell's going on in my head. So I turned and left. Well, in the day, that was 2 weeks ago, Sunday. No, a week ago, Sunday. And in the day since, he's not even mentioned it. Not even mentioned it. Of course, me being the fixer and the planner and the solver, I stayed up till 6 the next morning trying to figure out what the heck I was going to do and how I was going to move out and divide everything up. And then I got to thinking, I said, there's no rush. I don't have to do anything. Only thing I need to do is work on my business and find that lake cabin that I want to live at. That's been my goal. Those are the only two things I need to worry about. So that's my goal. And then he's been pretending like it's not even happening. He never even said it. I'm so confused. But I don't think the world's going to end. Either way it goes. So, Desi, ask yourself some serious questions. Were you really happy? Did you want more? If you wanted more, if you wanted something different, change it. Now's your opportunity. Do what you want to do. Make yourself happy. You don't have to be in that rut. You don't have to do what was just comfortable. Make a new life for you. It's your life. Do what you want. That's all I'm going to say on that subject. Okay. Next subject is going to be so many, most of you guys know, I've been in the fitness industry for over 40 years, 43 years. And I know some stuff, lots of stuff about fitness. And one of the most common questions I get asked is by primarily women who are getting a little, not older, but having kids. And so they're saying, I'm gaining weight, I'm eating the same, and I don't have a whole lot of time to work out. Okay, I'm going to explain it real simple. Oh, and they'll say, well, I don't weigh a lot more than I did when I got married, but there's the but. What happens as we get older, especially women, and I'm going to talk about it that way because it's the same with men, but my experience is, well, I'm a woman. So as we get older, we lose about 10% of our lean muscle mass every year. And that may not seem like a lot, but our lean muscle mass, our resting metabolic rate is set by how much lean muscle mass we have in our body. So if we lose our 10% of our lean muscle mass every year, and we say, okay, but I've only gained 10 pounds since I've been married, well, you've probably lost 10 pounds of lean muscle, and you picked up 20 pounds of fat. And now your metabolic rate is a lot lower than it was before. You haven't changed your diet, so you're gaining more body fat, and your resting metabolic rate is going down. So the easiest way to fix that is, and it's the simplest too, is to lift heavy, to lift weights. You don't have to do, I'd say 3 times a week, total body 3 times a week. You could spend maybe 30 to 40 minutes in there if you design it right. And I can help you with that. But you don't have to do an hour to 2 hours in the gym. If you have weights at home, you can do them at home. However, here's the kicker. Most women go, oh, I don't want to lift heavy weights because I don't want to get big muscles and I need to lose the fat underneath the muscles. No, no, you don't. First of all, you need to lift heavy because you need to tear down the muscle tissue so it can rebuild lean muscle mass. You don't want to pick up 5-pound dumbbells and do 500 arm circles or arm curls or shoulder presses. All you're going to get is tendonitis. Plain and simple. And then you're going to be sore, and then you're not going to work out. If you want to get the most bang for your buck, heavy weights 3 times a week. And for cardio, you know, if you want to dance around the house, if you want to go for a walk, if you want to go for a bike ride, if you don't want to have the time to spend at the gym and you've got kids, run around with the kids. 20 minutes, just doing something. Or get up during commercials and do a little jumping jacks or whatever. You don't need all that cardio. You know, I see these people for all these years coming into the gym, and they'll get on the treadmill or the elliptical, and at first they're on there for 20 minutes, and then they're not getting results anymore, so they go up to 30 minutes, and then their results slow down, so they go up to 40 minutes. Before you know it, they're on the damn treadmill or the elliptical for an hour and a half, and it's like, no, you don't need to do that. Their best bet is to spend that time on weight training. Okay, I'm going to end it there. Now make sure, well, I'm not going to end it there. Make sure that you lift heavy enough with fewer repetitions so you don't get tendonitis and you can tear that muscle tissue down. You know, you hear bodybuilders or weight trainers or trainers say, you want to go to failure. You want to go to failure. You want to go to where you don't think you can do another one. If you pick up dumbbells and do, say, 15-pound dumbbells and do shoulder presses, and you can get to 12, that's not failure. It should be really a struggle to finish. So go heavy enough that you can keep good form and break that muscle tissue down. And that's all I'm going to say about that now, I promise. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is I went to the movies this weekend, and I took my grandkids, well, 3 of the grandkids, and we went to see Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg's new movie. And, you know, I mentioned I've changed a lot in the last 2 years. I've kind of gotten a little woo-woo-woo-woo-y. Not crazy woo-woo-y. Some people might say crazy woo-woo-y, but not too. I don't think crazy woo-woo-y. I just think it's so weird. If anybody doesn't know what Disclosure Day is, it's a movie about aliens and Disclosure Day to the world that they're here. Well, I find it so odd that it used to be, if you even mentioned aliens, people thought you were crazy, absolutely crazy. Now the government is releasing files on aliens, and you know, these people are these politicians and scientists are coming out saying there's aliens and we've got bodies and we've got ships, and now it's becoming mainstream. Before it was on the fringe and they thought we were nuts. Well, here is my concern. The government always has an agenda, and lately, I can say with some sincerity and honesty and true belief that you can assume they don't have our best interest at heart. So if they're feeding us information about aliens, and they're letting a movie come out about aliens, and you know that they scripted what they were going to allow and what they weren't going to allow, because they are trying to control the narrative of aliens coming to Earth. And I just wonder, what are they planning? What's the government trying to do? Because they don't do anything without a reason. So if they release these files, and then it's got this huge blockbuster movie, tell me what you guys think. What do you think they're doing? I have some ideas, and if you really want to know what my ideas are, let me know, and I'll talk about those a little bit too. But I want to know what your guys' ideas are or thoughts. Do you think there's aliens? Do you think aliens are good, or do you think they're evil? Do you think they've been here all along? Do you think they want what's best interest of Earth? I know that's kind of woo-woo, isn't it? All right, let me know what you think, and I will meet you guys back here on the Big Comfy Couch. Love you lots. Bye.